2, 1. Fusion! You don't know the power. The math is unfunnable. Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get to the chopper!
Price go up.
Gigantic fusion reactor that just worked.
Multiple income streams and real yield. Ooh, yeah! Jeeps can no longer dump on your heads. The revolutionary decentralized finance protocol. Fusion reaction in T-minus 3, 2, 1. Fusion! You don't know the power.
The math is unfunnable.
Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
The mothership.
And what's it gonna do?
Everybody excited.
Oh, hell yeah.
Give my creation. Fusion.
Get ready to rumble.
Fusion.
Gotta do a huge shout out to Cool Sheet. That song just hits.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP Money. This is our live AMA. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. My name is AJ. I am the team lead here, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. LA, how are you?
I am fantastic. I'm so excited for tonight. It's going to be a great one. Let's fucking go.
Yes, hell yes, LA, for sure. So we've been trying to get this battery out for a while now, and today is the day. So as you can see by the title, we are here to release our brand new Fusion battery. And we know, a lot of you guys have been patiently waiting for this one, and we really believe that it's going to be a catalyst to, the forward momentum that we've all been looking forward to, not only in terms of PEG, but also the price of EMP and the price of eShare. So we'll get into all of that. We'll go over the white paper. We'll show the battery. It isn't live now, but it should be live shortly after the AMA today. So we're going to go through everything, and we're going to reveal a super secret strategy that will maximize not only your own gains, but also benefit the protocol, and really is the optimal way to utilize this battery moving forward. So yeah, really exciting stuff. LA, before we jump in, anything you want to add?
Yes, I see we have a lot of people watching. So before we start, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and like this stream. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to our channel because we do these AMAs every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern, 10:45 p.m. UTC.
Perfect. Awesome. And yeah, we will also have some updates towards the end on Honor versus Madness. I know we have a lot of the HVM community over as well, but today's AMA will be solely about, or primarily about the new Fusion battery, and definitely make sure that you, we'll timestamp, but this will be a great AMA to come back to to be able to know what to do with this battery for sure. So, all right. So I guess without further ado, let's just introduce this. So, the new battery is known as the Peg Profit Cash Out battery. And this battery lets you exchange a portion of your microgrid NFT for ETH. So this again is really powerful, and we'll explain why here in a second, but it allows you to sacrifice your EMP for the peg bonus. So again, obviously right now, anybody sacrificing their EMP into Fusion gets, I believe it's about a 5.5x at current prices on their sacrifice points. And so you're getting a massive bonus there. And then you're able to use this battery to transfer the full bonus amount directly into Ethereum into your wallet. So this is huge because and not only is it allowing you to essentially realize your gains in your microgrid value. Again, a lot of fudsters have said, well, it's only dashboard money because you can't actually cash out those gains at peg value. Well, now you can, and so this is really powerful. And then number two, it allows you to utilize that ETH to actually buy more EMP and repeat the process all over again. So we will go through that again. That's part of the strategy we'll unveil here in a minute. But there is an additional exchange fee as well. Obviously you have to buy the battery in M Energy, and then you also have another fee when exchanging. And there are some limitations. So right now we're looking at about, and again, this is subject to change, but everything is really based on a sliding scale. So we also don't want to give an unfair advantage to potential bad actors that just want to utilize this arbitrage to extract value. So the first few trades, so to speak, on this battery will be not profitable, but over the long run, it is essentially guaranteed profit based on the exchange rate. So, LA, I know maybe you want to go a little bit more into that, and then I can elaborate further.
Yeah, so on this battery, as opposed to the batteries we already have on offer that are quite low cost and low fee, the cost of this battery and the operational costs of this battery are intentionally higher for a couple of reasons. We had to be very, very, very careful when designing and testing this battery because if we didn't do it perfectly right, it would be open to exploitation by bad actors who would set up bots on a million wallets and just take complete advantage of this. And so we have things set at a completely optimal way so that as an individual, you're able to use this to arbitrage on EMP and it is going to be just profitable enough in the long run. However, the first couple trades will not be profitable when you take into account the price of the battery and the operational costs put together. And the reason for that is because it's a deterrent against people who will want to exploit this. And so, if you do plan to purchase this and use it continually, moving forwards, especially if you're going to deploy the strategy that we're going to go over with you that is absolutely unreal, it's absolutely worth it to put down the price of the battery because after those first couple trades, it will become profitable and you will ROI and then beyond, obviously, if you continue to sacrifice your EMP and get those peg bonuses and then cash out the ETH.
For sure.
However, we had to make sure to make it structured properly to deter bad actors who would set up ways to exploit it, basically.
Yeah, no, great explanation, LA. And again, we'll go into the numbers here in a bit when I pull up the white paper. But yeah, I just want to add one more thing to this before we jump into the white paper, and that is just bear in mind that this battery eventually may be retired. So again, and we also are kind of adjusting some things on the back end to make it even more safe, so to speak. Even though, again, everything that we're doing is safe from a contract standpoint, but there is, because everything is calculated in real time, if there's a fluctuation in the price of eShare or EMP, then we have to dynamically increase or decrease the price of the battery to still make that arbitrage profitable. So again, there's a lot happening. Just bear in mind that if you understand the overall principle of how this battery works and how to apply it to your own holdings, it will be extremely, extremely beneficial to everybody involved. So, all right.
Those of you who take the time to really understand this, how it works, it's basically going to be like, buying a cow and selling the milk, right? So
Totally.
eventually, there's the initial price of the cow, but every day you can milk it and you can sell that milk, and you can take some of that money that you're earning from selling the milk to buy more cows. You know what I
I
mean?
love it.
So yeah.
Absolutely, Ella. Perfect analogy. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the white paper. We'll run through that first, and then we'll talk a little bit about the strategy, and then we will show the battery live, so people know how to interact with it. So, all right, give me 1 second while I pull up the white paper.
And there's an exciting new graphic that's going to be revealed on the UI when we post this. But there is an Easter egg in the white paper that AJ is about to show.
Yes, perfect. Okay. Sorry, bear with me here. All right. All right, LA, where do you want to start from the top? What page should we start on? I'll let you kind of take the lead for the white paper.
Yeah, I don't think they want to sit here while I read all 26 pages.
Yeah,
As
totally.
much as I'd like to be here with them for 3 hours. So let's start from, I believe it's page 8-ish, where it says the different types of batteries.
All right, perfect. I think I'm there now.
Yep.
Maybe one more down, one more page after this.
You have it. Yeah, the next one. Yep.
All right. All right,
Cool.
there it is. Perfect. Go ahead, LA. Yeah.
All right, so Peg Profit Cashout Battery. This battery lets you exchange a portion of your Microgrid NFT for ETH. Sacrifice your EMP for a Peg bonus, then use this battery to exchange the full bonus amount in Sac Points directly to ETH in your wallet. An additional exchange fee is required to be made in M Energy. There are daily limits set in place for how many sacrifice points you can exchange for ETH per day.
Perfect. So yeah, and I'll let you, if you want to just go over this, and then there's a few key points I want to make as we go. And again, if any of you also have questions, feel free to type them in the live chat. Again, today, because we're just unveiling this now, we won't go through Discord. But yeah, if we're going along and your question or you're confused on something that hasn't been addressed, please feel free to ask. So, all right, go ahead, Elliot.
Yes. Okay, so for both the battery price and the fees, as we began to explain, this will work a little bit differently from our other batteries that have a set price. There will be a sliding scale for both the price of the battery and the fees. But when you go to purchase the battery, everything will be transparently displayed on the marketplace dashboard, and that way you can decide, whether you'd like to purchase it or not that day. But the sliding scale will be adjusted based on the method that we're using to prevent exploitation. And so these fees and battery prices will continue to be scaled up and down daily as our devs continue to analyze everything and adjust based on what's needed in order to make these as safe as possible and prevent any exploitation. And so that's why we're not putting a set amount for those. The minimum cash out amount is $10. So we set it nice and low. The maximum cash out amount, again, will be it will be on a daily basis displayed transparently on the UI. You'll know exactly how much the maximum amount that you can cash out that day will be. So there will be a maximum daily cash out amount, which resets 24 hours after your last use of this battery. So you can use it one time per day, or you can use it. You can reach that maximum one time per day, and then you have to wait 24 hours. This is calculated in real time. Please check the UI for the current daily maximum.
Yeah.
So
and
yeah.
and that, yeah, real quick, Ella, just while we're on the topic. So yeah, each individual wallet, like Ella said, can only trigger this every 24 hours or after 24 hours, but no sooner than 24 hours. And on top of that, with the sliding scale, again, all of this will be a lot easier when we show the UI. You'll be able to see what we're talking about. But the point is that the maximum cash out amount is also throttled, for lack of a better word, based on the amount of reserves that we have to facilitate this battery. So again, that again, like Ella said earlier, that is another mechanism that we use to prevent any potential exploits. Because even if everybody was able to cash out every 24 hours, if there isn't enough in the reserve account, it will not let you trigger the cash out. So just be aware of that. And as we go through all this, I know it sounds very complicated on the surface, but once you see the cash out strategy, or the secret strategy we're giving, it's really very straightforward. And I think a lot of you are going to be utilizing this extremely well. So, all right, go ahead, Eli. Sorry.
Absolutely. So you'll see that our main goal when designing all of this is to make this battery extremely profitable for you, but not exploitable. And that
For
is,
sure.
you're going to find the theme throughout this whole section of the white paper when we talk about the battery prices, the fees, the maximum cash out amount. We want this battery to be profitable for you, so you actually do have arbitrage opportunities, but not exploitable. As AJ was just getting into, there's a maximum amount of ETH available from the protocol to pay out these batteries on a daily basis. It's displayed on the dashboard for the battery. Once the daily threshold has been met, you'll have to wait until the following day to use your battery to cash out. This is designed to protect the protocol. Now, here's a big note. Please keep this in mind and remember it. And remember to remind your friends if they're confused or asking in the group and they haven't read the white paper. You must deactivate all other batteries prior to using this one. So if you have your cash out batteries activated, you can't use this battery. So you have to just press the deactivate all button, and then you can go ahead and use this. And so I wonder if there's going to be a question about the fact that deactivating those batteries will trigger BBE to start collecting. That is totally fine. As long as all of your batteries are deactivated, you'll be able to use this battery.
Perfect. Yeah, and on that note too, again, sorry to cut you off one more time, LA, but if you understand how the BBE functions, this battery is very, very similar to that. It almost brings it to a whole nother level in not only building your own ownership, but having a direct impact on the price of EMP as well. So again, if you're bullish on BBE, then you'll already know how this battery operates. And it actually, has many, many benefits along with the BBE. So, all right, go ahead. How to buy. Yeah.
Love it. So how to buy?
Whoop, shoot, sorry.
Purchase. You're good. Purchase M Energy from the Fusion marketplace. You'll need M Energy both to purchase the battery and to use it. This would be a great time to make use of your power pack if you've purchased one. So if you had purchased one at the beginning and you didn't have that much to use it for yet, this would be a great time to use it. Once you've purchased the battery, it will appear on your dashboard, but it will not appear in the same tab as your other cash out batteries. It's going to have its own separate tab, so keep that in mind.
Yep,
Just
and we'll
like the
show you
split my
that in 1 second.
position.
Yep.
Yeah, just like the split my position has its own tab, this will have an additional tab for this battery. That tab will show up once you've purchased the battery. It won't appear if you don't own the battery yet. And as long as you have enough M energy to operate the battery, which will be transparently displayed on the dashboard, and you're within the minimums and maximums that are displayed for that day, the process of using the battery will be completely straightforward and easy. And we'll show you how tonight, and then none of this will seem confusing whatsoever.
Perfect. All right, let's go. This is the part I'm excited for. Our new recommended strategy. Hang on 1 sec.
Oh, here's the juicy stuff.
Yes, perfect. All right, and I'll pull up this graphic a little bit bigger as well once we go through it. But all right, go ahead.
Okay, so the recommended strategy. This is a way to continuously gain within Fusion and to profit off of your peg bonus continuously. So once you've purchased the battery, the recommended strategy to make the most out of your battery while simultaneously contributing to peg recovery is as follows. So once you've purchased the battery, first step, purchase EMP and sacrifice it for an attractive peg bonus. Number 2, use the peg profit cash out battery to cash out your Sac Points for ETH. Then take the ETH received in your wallet and use it to purchase more EMP. Sacrifice the EMP to the central grid for a peg bonus. Repeat, repeat, repeat.
I love it. That's so bullish. So again, that is the overall flow. And what happens is, from a fundamental standpoint, two things are happening that are extremely bullish for everybody involved. So the first thing is you're actually realizing your gains at peg value of your microgrid. So again, the biggest FUD or argument was that, well, sacrifice points don't matter until we're at peg, and all the money that's displayed on your dashboard is just dashboard money. That this eliminates that argument completely, because again, now you're able to cash in those particular sacrifice points at peg value, even though we're below peg. So that is number one. Number two, from a user standpoint, you're able to gain the ETH and then buy more EMP, sacrificing that to build your microgrid value. So again, you're not giving anything up in terms of profitability. You're actually getting more profit because not only are you building your microgrid value, but then you also get more rewards because you have a bigger ownership. And all the while, this is constant buying pressure on EMP, which will push the price of PEG and the price of EMP, or PEG ratio and the price of EMP up. So literally, it's accomplishing everything that we were hoping to have happen. It's just essentially adding fuel to the fire, so to speak, in getting the flywheel started. And lastly, it is massively beneficial for eShare, because although a lot of our reserves will be in ETH that facilitate this transaction, even if we have to use some eShare to do this, just like we would with any other Cash App battery, the fact that you have to buy the eShare first to have enough M energy to trigger and buy the battery, that is a much larger price impact on eShare in terms of buying than selling. So it helps all the entire ecosystem. especially for those that maybe are new to EMP and don't have a bunch of EMP or eShare already reserved. This will, substantially increase the flywheel effect of what Fusion was designed to do. So, yeah,
Hmm.
super
And
bullish.
then on top of just the e-share you need to purchase the battery, there's the ongoing energy that is required to use the battery. And
Exactly.
so for those that are taking advantage of this incredible strategy to continuously arbitrage EMP and profit off the peg bonus, there will be continued fees, which means that continued buying pressure on eShare from whoever's using this battery, which is so bullish for the continued health of eShare.
Yeah, totally. Well, and on that note too, two other things I wanted to mention. Number one, it makes our power packs way more attractive now. I know originally we said don't go too heavy on the power packs until there's actual M energy utility. Well, this is that utility, and again, those buying the larger power packs are getting a bit of a bonus as well. And if you're buying eShare at these levels, again, not financial advice, but we found pretty much a floor on eShare, at least locally. That means that loading up on eShare now will give you enough M energy to make this process even more profitable in the future because you've already bought your M energy at a much lower rate. So again, there's a lot of benefits to how this all works.
That's a massive thing that's worth repeating.
Yeah.
The
You want to
price
repeat
of
it? Yeah, go
eShare,
ahead. Go ahead.
yeah,
Yeah.
the price of eShare is quite low right now. But this, and we're going to go further into this part, but this battery, one of the main benefits is it's going to help us get to that supply shock on EMP much sooner. And that means getting back to peg. And this battery, through the purchase of the battery and the fees, are going to really help the health of eShare. And that means that as we see this rise in peg and eShare health, the prices of everything getting more expensive. And so using this battery and, purchasing that EMP and everything at the beginning is the way to go, and using it while you can, because when we're back to peg, there's no more peg bonus. When we're back to peg, this battery very likely will not be available anymore. And so getting that e-share now while you can before it goes up in price, that in itself, to get those power packs now to use this, is a whole second strategy that we didn't even write in this white paper. So
For sure. Yeah, no doubt. Well, again, that's why it's pays to pay attention and listen to the AMAs. And we'll do better at educating everybody as we go. But yeah, I mean that gives a lot of you a head start on getting eShare at a discounted rate. And again, just to reiterate, this battery may eventually go away, just like the BBE. Once we're at peg, or once all the EMP in existence is inside of Fusion, then this battery would be retired. So just be aware of that. It's just very similar to BBE, only this battery is again like BBE on steroids. So if you're bullish on how that works, then this battery is for you for sure. And over the life of the battery, it will way far outweigh the cost and what was spent on the battery. So don't feel like you're gonna buy this battery and then we're gonna get rid of it and now you're out all the money you spent on it. So it'll be a very gradual process. Cool. Okay. All right. Next part, LA, or what specifically? The next. Let me see. What's next?
I think that's
Yeah.
kind of it for the white paper, for
Yeah.
like the general explanation of this battery.
For sure. Let me pull up the image too, so people can see it a little bigger before we get into the next part. Hang on. All right, and we'll be posting this as well, but we're calling it our Peg Profit Cash Out Battery. Obviously, that's a name, and this is the continuous gains strategy. So again, familiarize yourself with this and utilize it. And we'll show you next how to actually implement this. But all right, let me get situated here. All right, so let me go ahead and pull up LA. I'll go ahead and pull up the actual UI, and we can go through that. I think that's best, right?
Sounds good. Yep.
All right, give me one more second. Sorry, I'm trying to do
I like
10 things at once. Yeah,
what Hot Llama wrote. Let's retire this biatch.
yeah, exactly. When we get to a point where we can retire this battery, that will be an amazing situation for all of us. So, all right.
And Hot Llama caught on to our little Easter egg of the tiny little preview of our new battery graphic. So that's going to be an exciting reveal. Our
Yes, I
UI
love it.
shown.
And I'm gonna do that right now. All right, let me go ahead and pull it up. Hang on one second. Sorry, everybody. I had to go to the test server to get this going. So, and again, this will be live shortly after the AMA, and we'll do a full post in written form that recaps everything that we've explained when the battery is actually live. So, all right.
I'll tell you, we must be cranking in the YouTube ad revenue tonight. This is the second time already during the stream that it's had a commercial break for me.
Awesome. All right. The settings are working, so perfect. Uh, all right. So here we are. This is what it will look like on the marketplace. LA, can you see it? Did it come through?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So again, you will go to the marketplace. If you don't have any M energy, you can buy it up here at the very top. And it will convert, or you can buy the power packs to get a bit of a bonus as well. But you will come down here, and boom, there it is, the brand new battery, our Peg Profit Cash App battery, converting your EMP and ETH. And it is a double battery instead of a single battery, so
Mm-hmm.
that shows you how bullish it is. So,
That's a
um,
sexy looking
yeah,
battery.
yeah, totally. I love the graphic for sure. So, and again, you will be able to see the price in real time right here. So again, it's substantially more expensive than the $15 batteries. Right now, it's about, again, $123. This price will go up and go down depending on the current arbitrage, but we're hoping to keep it around this range, so it won't be too dramatic. Um, but you would buy it just like any other battery. Again, it's a little bit more expensive, but you will make that up in the long run as you trigger the battery and the profitable arbitrage. So let's go ahead and buy it. We'll just go through the whole process here. All right, successfully purchased. And then you will go to your dashboard. And like LA said, it will show up in a brand new tab at the top here. Unlike your cash out or split my positions, it has its own tab called Peg Exchange. You will go ahead and click that. And here you go. This shows all the relevant info you will need to have work. Again, the minimum Sac Points of 100, the maximum Sac Points of 3,000, and what is available in actual Ethereum to do the arbitrage. So if this number is zero, if this number is zero, you will need to wait another 24 hours for us to fill it up again. Um, and again, you will also have a timeout. So let me just go ahead and do it just to show as well. Bear with me 1 second.
And this is the test server, so when the UI gets kicked off and goes live, all of the relevant numbers for today will be displayed. So this is just a test server for right now. So if anything changes between now and an hour from now, don't say, "Oh my God, it said this and now it's this,"
Yeah,
because this
100%.
is just the test server.
Yep. So whenever it goes live on the main server, whatever information is displayed will be the most up to date and correct. So again, let's try. We'll do the minimum of 100 Sac Points. It's gonna cost $8 to make it happen, but we're gonna get 0.03 ETH. And again, remember the first few are gonna be not profitable for you. But the whole point is that over the long run, you're actually getting between 5 and 15% of actual profitable exchanges. So over the course of a month, you will be well into profit, especially if you're buying EMP with that ETH and using it to do the loop. You're getting EMP at a much more discounted rate as we continue to push PEG in the right direction. So you just hit exchange, sign, have it go through. It's about $9. So even that is a profitable. Again, not counting the battery price. Again, $8.22 turned into $9.30 or so. So that shows that that spread that you're making on activating it. So again, the 0.003 ETH showed up in my wallet. I would go to Pancake Swap. I would buy EMP off the market with that ETH, and then sacrifice it into Fusion, and then do the process all over again. And as you can see here, it will show you the last exchange. So right now it says 000, but you have to wait till this gets to a minimum of 24 hours from when you activate it, and then it will let you do it again. So again, right now it's grayed out because it's not been 24 hours. So after 24 hours, this will light up blue again, and you can activate the battery once more. So that's really it. I mean, again, like I said, it sounds really complicated, but once you see it in practice, it's super simple. And again, I could not be more excited for what this can potentially do to jumpstart the flywheel again. So does that make sense, LA? Was there anything else you wanted me to go over?
Yes, so I just want to clarify because I believe I misread it earlier. So, regardless of whether or not you hit your maximum, you can only use it one time per day then.
Correct. Yeah. So again, just make sure when you do activate it, you do the most that you want to do, or the most that's available to do at that particular time, or you will have to wait another 24 hours. Yep. Cool. All right. What was there any questions that we can go
Mm-hmm.
through? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I have some for us to go through in our notes first, and then let's do questions at the end.
All right. Perfect. So you want me to pull up, do you want me to show anything on screen right now? Sorry, it's hard for me to do both. So yeah.
No, I think we're good. Now that we've shown it, we can go through our questions, and then we will tackle. I've seen at least a few here in the chat as well.
All right, perfect. And I can pull up and go over it again when we get into questions. But all right, hang on one second. All right, should be good to go now. So yeah, go ahead, LA, and then we can talk about Universe Madness a little bit, and then we'll do the live questions too. So go ahead.
Okay, so we've obviously already touched on this quite a bit, but why was it necessary for this battery that there's a higher price tag on it and higher fees?
Yeah, totally. So again, multiple reasons, but the most important reasons are number one, it's to mitigate any potential exploit or bad actors. Again, we don't like using that term anymore, really, because in Fusion there really isn't the ability to be a bad actor, but Just as a for instance, if somebody has no idea about EMP and all they want to do is just come in, buy a battery, trigger the peg bonus, and then just take that ETH and leave, then it really doesn't help the system at all, and that's what we're trying to mitigate. So we're making it much more expensive to buy the battery because we want somebody that is willing to spend that money to stick around and be here for the long run. And it also helps the price of eShare because, again, if somebody doesn't have, even if they are a quote unquote bad actor and trying to just not use the battery properly, they have to actually buy the energy to buy the battery, which is a massive, again, commitment. Even if you are a bad actor, you still have to actually buy the assets. So it just made sense to keep it a little more high. And obviously, if we're doing it charging it less for the battery, then that means the potential arbitrage would be much less as well, because now people are able to trigger the battery a lot more often. So it's not meant to be a whales battery by any means. Again, we're still talking, less than $200. But it is meant to reward and be utilized by the right people within the ecosystem.
Yes. One thing I wanted to bring attention to that I am admittedly not 100% certain about yet, but I have an assumption because I need to test it once we're actually live. But very much so, like a lot of the other features on the website, my assumption would be that once you trigger this battery, if you have any pending rewards in your BBE, it may be auto compounded for you. But I need to test that once it's actually live, and then I'll add a note about that to the white paper if that is the case. So there was a question in the chat about, is BBE still running while you're using this? And it is still running because you have to have all of your cash out batteries deactivated in order to use this. So BBE will be collecting rewards. But a lot of the features on the website, once you do one thing, it triggers an auto compound or an auto claim. And I'm guessing that because the cash out batteries are turned off and the BBE is collecting rewards, that this could potentially trigger an auto compound. But as soon as we push the UI live, I'll go ahead and test that, and then we will add to the white paper if that is the case.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm 99% sure you are correct, LA. Again, we had all the beta testers go through this a while ago now. It's been ready to go. We just been waiting to get all the documentation ready. But from what I remember with beta testers, it did trigger the BBE. So yeah, and that's just, again, a lot of the things like LA was saying, we have to account for what's called good accounting. So whenever there's an action taken with any of the smart contracts, it usually triggers that just so that all the math is correct.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. And one
So,
more thing too. Sorry, Ellie, to
oh,
cut you off. I just remembered something. We could probably put this in the white paper if this isn't bullish enough. And this may be a future question. I'm getting ahead of myself. But I don't know if somebody asks what happens to the sacrifice points that when we trigger the battery. The answer is that they are burned. So again, this is so freaking bullish because anybody trying to sell or again, technically it's selling your sacrifice points, um, and actually triggering this battery, those sacrifice points are then removed from the central grid. So that also, the more people that utilize this battery, and obviously they're going to be buying more EMP and sacrificing that. But the point of this is that it's not going to dilute people too much because we're also burning the sacrifice points that people use to redeem this battery. So,
I love it. Awesome. Okay, so when it comes to the continuous gain strategy, Why is this the best strategy both for the individual user and the protocol?
Yeah, 100%. So again, just in full transparency, by triggering this battery, you have two options. The first option is to utilize this continuous gain strategy, or the second option, which again, when we say quote unquote bad actors, what we don't want to have happen is you're just taking your ETH as profit and leaving. If you're going to do that, you're better off just having the ETH cash out battery, or getting your gains in stables or BNB utilizing any of the other batteries we have. So the whole idea with the continuous gain strategy is that number one, it's better for you because you're building your ownership in the protocol. So again, utilizing your ETH to then buy more EMP and then sacrifice that builds your microgrid value. And especially right now when we're this far below peg, you're getting a massive sacrifice bonus for doing that. So, you're essentially getting 5x, again, in today's numbers, on the ETH that you're using from the battery to buy more EMP and sacrifice it. So that's huge from a profitability standpoint from the individual users. And because you're building your ownership, you're getting more rewards because, again, the more microgrid value you have, the larger percentage ownership of the protocol you have, and therefore the more energy rewards you're getting to then repeat the process or BBE or do whatever you want with. So that is huge. And then from a protocol standpoint, again, this is pure buying pressure on EMP and sacrificing of EMP. So this will really accelerate the supply shock because now every day more and more people are buying EMP off the market with the ETH they're getting and they're sacrificing it, which puts more and more EMP into Fusion. It helps with the price of EMP because it's buying pressure, and it helps with peg because, again, as EMP goes up in price, so does peg. So there really it's a win-win for everybody, and the specific strategy we're showing really is the best way to maximize, both from your perspective as a user and for the protocol.
Amazing. So how do you see this affecting the rewards within Fusion?
Well, again, this is another really cool part. At least immediately, even though it doesn't necessarily add to the revenue streams, it will dramatically, in theory, help the price of eShare. So again, if eShare goes up in price because more people are buying uh, eShare to be able to buy this battery or utilize the battery, then that means the eShare price will be higher, and therefore the rewards in dollar value will be higher because eShare is a higher price. Does that make sense, Ellie?
Yes. Can you kind of, for anyone wondering, actually, I guess this is a good time to go into some questions because it leads into a question that Hot Llama asked earlier that kind of ties in what I was going to ask you to go further into. But
Okay, for sure.
he asked, are the fees paying out to the microgrid holders? So can you kind of go further into that?
Yeah, so the fees are not paying out. So it's a little complicated because things are happening indirectly. So the fees that we're taking in are yeah, they're essentially feeding back into the ability to trigger this battery. So, they're not necessarily going into like the rewards distribution, but they are allowing users to trigger this more often. So indirectly, the answer is yes, because again, utilizing this battery is giving you more rewards, but it's not actually distributing it to all the microgrid holders. Now that being said, back to my point a minute ago, it will also help the price of eShare. So again, indirectly, you are getting more rewards because the price of eShare will be higher than it is now. So again, there's a lot happening under the hood. I don't know if I confuse people more or if you want to clarify it all, LA, but does that help?
No, that does help.
Okay,
Um,
perfect.
in a nutshell, the fees that we're taking in are securing the sustainability and future use of this battery. And
Exactly. And we
um,
still and to that too, again, just one more point. Part of that is still because everything that transacts in eShare will also burn. So this is also going to help speed up the burning of eShare as well. And in the beginning, we have enough ETH reserves, ETH itself, to be able to just add the ability to use this battery. But over the long run, again, we can even start putting in some eShare to do this. So,
and then indirectly, obviously, as AJ said, as we support the price of eShare, the rewards are looking a lot better. And as we get closer to peg, obviously, there's going to be a whole new buzz in the ecosystem that can trigger our next round of marketing. Just opens up a lot more doors and the ability to excite existing users and entice new users. And so this is a really important moment for all of us, not only as individuals for this amazing opportunity to earn and arbitrage, but as a protocol. To really realize that next step in our pathway to achieving our vision.
yep, 100%. I love it, LA. And again, we also talk about this a lot, and we did when we were releasing Fusion, but we can talk about it again right now because it's perfect segue. I would look at everything that we offer inside of Fusion in terms of batteries as just another tool in your tool belt. So, and the reason I make that analogy is because, like LA said, whether you've been here already for a while or you're a new user, it's up to you all on how to utilize the different tools that we provide to maximize your benefit, no matter what it might be. Again, the cool part with Fusion is that even if you choose just to, not focus on the long term, which again, not financial advice, but I don't think this is the right play. You can absolutely choose to cash out, and that doesn't hurt the price of EMP. I mean, the whole point now is that we're giving you all the puzzle pieces or tools in your tool belt to utilize the platform to in the best way that you see fit as an individual user. And again, in my opinion, no other DeFi protocol is offering those options that take away the prisoner's dilemma. We don't have to worry about whales dumping on our heads in the long term. And even now, I know I saw, and maybe you again, I'm jumping the gun a little bit. LA, somebody asked on Discord for an updated number on the amount of EMP that's been sacrificed. And every single day, more and more EMP is going in to Fusion, and we're over 80% now of what's accounted for, and roughly 50% alone is just been EMP sacrificed into Fusion. So everything fundamentally is working exactly how we have designed, and this is just another tool to help speed up the process.
Hell yeah. All right, next question. Is this giving us a boost over BBE if we're looking at the long-term view?
Yeah, so again, this is a bit of a difficult question to answer. So if you are doing PBE, and again, this is the to the other person's question about why the battery is so expensive, if you're not able to afford this battery, then BBE is still an amazing option, and it allows you to compound, without any additional, capital, and really helps the ecosystem overall. This battery is really meant to be BBE on steroids. So again, if you're looking to build, your ownership maybe a little bit faster than BBE, and also help with the flywheel of burning of burning more EMP into Fusion and helping peg and everything else, then this would be a better option for you as well. So there's really no right or wrong answer. It's just depending on your financial, goals and situation. But if you can afford this battery and can utilize this battery according to our continuous gain strategy, it will definitely give you, you know, a little bit of a boost for sure.
Mm-hmm. Is it wETH or BNB that you get? I think we kind of made that one clear. You
Yep.
sell some of your Sac Points to get ETH in return.
Yep, and you're getting actual ETH. Again, we could have made it any asset really, but we have the most ETH reserves, and the main liquidity pair is EMP ETH. So we just wanted to make it super easy. So that's why we chose to reward in Ethereum.
Yes. Okay. Does BBE still run while using it? I already answered that one, so the answer is yes. Can you buy multiple batteries if you wanted to? And he clarified that this is meaning on the same wallet, and so the answer is one per wallet.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, and then you already answered Molly's question because he was asking, was there a reason why the rewards are in ETH? If the rewards were in some token that can only be traded for EMP, there would no possibility of bad actors exploiting the battery unless I am completely off.
Yeah, I'm a little confused on that, Mal, but yeah, I mean, the whole point is that if we rewarded you in a different token, you wouldn't actually be able to buy EMP because you actually have to have liquidity. So again, the main liquidity is in EMP ETH, not, whatever token we would reward, we'd have to put more liquidity in that token. And honestly, we're at a point right now where we're getting rid of tokens, not adding more tokens. So yeah, it makes it way more complicated that way.
Yeah, and also we have to make this extremely attractive for users to want to use, right? And so
Totally.
that's a key component as well.
Yeah,
And so
no,
we
that's
really believe we have a pretty sweet recipe here.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I mean, that's a really important point, LA, because even people that aren't really that bullish on Fusion because they don't understand it or maybe they just haven't been introduced to it, a lot of people in DeFi, they can easily understand, arbitrage. So this is also a gateway to get people excited about utilizing this battery, even if they're brand new to the ecosystem, and essentially being able to, even if some random person stumbles upon this and just solely gets into Fusion because of this battery, that is direct buying pressure on eShare and EMP because of the way we have it structured. So again, they have to buy the M energy, therefore eShare, to even utilize this battery. So it's really again a win-win, especially in the beginning, for anybody coming into the protocol.
Agreed, for sure. All right, so the only other question was the one that you... Oh, wait, can we have another one pop up? Can you please cover one more time why this would not be net positive until after 2 to 3 uses of the battery?
Yeah, so again, in my demonstration, it happens that the first one was profitable. Again, when this is on mainnet, it may not be, but it may be. Again, we're giving that leeway so that people aren't like feeling like we gave them a bait and switch, where we ask them to buy the battery and then we say it's profitable from the beginning, and it may not be in the first few. And you have to also account for the battery cost. So even though the trade I showed on screen was, a dollar or two profit, you still had to buy the battery. So when we say profitable, we mean accounting for the battery cost as well. So again, it pushes the ROI out, probably about a month or so. But again, all of you that are here, and utilizing this battery for the right reasons, are going to be here way past 30 days from now, and literally every time you activate the battery after that, it would be profitable for you to do so. So it's what we preach every time about that delayed gratification. And the analogy LA used about a cow, I mean, that was perfect. So the whole idea is to utilize the rewards to build your position rather than utilizing it just to cash out. If you're gonna do that, you might as well buy the ETH or BNB or USDT cash out battery.
Yeah. And if you take a look at the continuous gain strategy the um, that's on the page right now, um, I saw Mega Crypto asking for an example. So basically, in a nutshell, once you have gotten to a point where you have ROI'd beyond what you paid for the battery, which won't take very long at all, every single cycle of this loop that you do, you're earning profit because you're depositing your EMP into Fusion and you're getting that 5.5x. Or obviously, as we get closer to peg, that will be slightly less and slightly less. But let's say today's value 5.5x. So you're getting all of those sacrifice points. And every single one of those sacrifice points can be used as opposed to it just looking like dashboard money. And so you can use that full amount that you just deposited and received, all of those sacrifice points you can use in this continuous gain strategy. And so every time you go through this full circle, you can profit by 5, 10, 15%, depending on where we have the margins set to prevent exploitation. And so if, say, you're doing this daily or even weekly, and every single time you're profiting 5, 10, 15%, that doesn't take very long to continue and continue and continue and continue to add up. And I would, guess to say or assume to say that it would add up to a lot more than what's being offered APR wise out there in a lot of other protocols right now, especially ones that are still going to be around in a week from now.
Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, there's a few other questions too, LA, I want to go into. So Cool Sheet said, so if we skip this new battery and just continue to BBE, we get diluted? Not really. So the BBE is still functioning no matter what, and because we're actually burning the sac points that are used to convert, it should pretty much even out. Now, obviously, the more people buying EMP and sacrificing it, yes, I mean, you're going to get slightly diluted, but that's going to happen no matter what, especially at these levels. And that's why, again, there's the other arbitrage that, again, I don't think people are really understanding. And I get it. Some people may be out of dry powder, but the whole point is that you're buying EMP and sacrificing it as we go lower because you're getting that massive bonus in terms of peg bonus. So that that would apply with or without this battery in terms of getting diluted. So we've done everything we
And
yeah, go ahead.
sorry, and then we didn't even, oh my gosh, then we didn't even talk about the best moment ever at the end of all of this. So you continue to use this continuous gain strategy, and all the while, your microgrid value is building and building and building and building and building. And when we do get back to peg, that value that's displayed on your dashboard, that's what your microgrid's worth. And at that point, we have all or almost all of the EMP in existence within Fusion, which means the only way to get into Fusion is to purchase someone's microgrid.
For sure.
It's insane.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, again, that's why when we said it a few weeks ago and I got in trouble, that this is the knife in the heart of all the haters. I mean, this is allowing you to realize your dashboard money before it even before we even get to peg, and then once we're at peg, it is the value. That is market value when we are at peg. So yeah, it's again, this battery is going to be super bullish as long as people actually use it, it's a no-brainer for sure. So cool. All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So
Couple more questions
yeah,
here.
yeah. I didn't know if you want to do it. I saw one more I wanted to address was just real quick, and then LA, if you want to look at the others.
Yeah, I
Where?
was just gonna ask you to I was gonna ask it to you to answer.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
But go for it.
All right,
Go for
so
it.
where does the money come from? That's what everyone wants to know, right? So yeah, again, I explained it a little bit already, but and this is another reason why we chose to pay out in ETH. So again, as we've said all along, part of the real yield that we have had, since Fusion launched and has been going to buying EMP off the market. So rather than us doing that, we're gonna divert some of that to this battery, especially in the beginning, because we don't want to just rely on eShare price to pay everybody out, which would then in turn maybe hurt the price of eShare. So this is from all of our ETH reserves that will be facilitating the actual money, so to speak. And then as the flywheel gets going, the price of eShare is more healthy, PEG is more healthy, then we can maybe increase the amount that we're paying out in this battery in terms of liquidity with a mixture of eShare and ETH. So again, it's all from the real yield of the treasury or the eShare that we're getting in terms of fees and what the protocol owns. But we're actively managing it to make sure that we're not tanking, the price of eShare because obviously and really, it wouldn't even happen anyway because people have to buy eShare for M energy to trigger the battery to begin with. So the short answer is the money comes from the real yield that we were using just to buy EMP directly, and now we're diverting some of that. We'll still be buying EMP off the market again until we're back to pay, but putting some of this into the battery instead actually has a double effect because then people are incentivized to buy eShare and then utilize the battery. So not only are we getting buying pressure on EMP, but we're also helping eShare price.
I love it. Okay, next question. Can you start the cycle using existing Sac Points, or do you need to buy fresh EMP off the marketplace and deposit, or off the market and deposit to start this battery cycle?
Yep. Great question. Again, we are recommending buying EMP off the market again just to help get the process going. But you can absolutely use this the Sac Points you already own. Just remember when you do that, it will reduce your ownership because you are technically selling slash burning those Sac Points.
Also, remember the long-term vision, right? So although that could temporarily get your continuous gain strategy started and it might seem easier, the long-term vision is that the quicker we get back to peg, the higher the rewards are, the more sustainable Fusion is, the more marketable Fusion is. All of these things that we've been aiming towards are more achievable. And so if everyone were to start off by purchasing EMP, we would get there a lot sooner.
For sure. I mean, at the end of the day, and again, whether it's through this battery or not, the number one thing that we can do as a community, and I'm going to do a follow-up post. Obviously, Fusion or the battery, the PEG battery has been our number one priority at the moment. But next week, after we get through the initial launch, I'm going to do another post that just lists what we can do as a community to help the protocol And again, this isn't charity. We're not asking people to just buy EMP and burn it without any, gains for themselves. But we do need to kind of work as a team and as a community to all start rowing in the right direction again. And with or without this battery, the number one thing that helps the protocol is buying EMP off the market and sacrificing it into Fusion. I mean, that is the number one goal in big bold letters, that as long as we can do that as a community and as a protocol, then everything else will fall into place. And that is a guarantee. Again, we don't use that word, we use that word very sparingly, but just based on the math, the more people buying EMP and sacrificing it into Fusion, essentially burning it or locking it away, that is what will get us to where we want to be in the rest of the protocol.
Exactly. Okay, next question. Why not just have the contract auto sell the ETH and buy EMP and pay out in EMP?
Yeah, so two reasons. Number one, it then that EMP could be sold, so we don't want to again give people the option to just negatively impact, even though it would be a net neutral effect. We don't want that to happen. And number two, then it doesn't really, the flywheel doesn't work as well, because again, you're you have the option with the EMP. We would much rather have you be building your ownership by sacrificing that EMP than just turning around and selling it. And really, again, that is a whole nother, if we were to automate it that way, it's a whole nother, not only potential exploit route, but it just complicates the process.
Also, it wouldn't allow us to continue to get closer and closer to experiencing that supply shock, because we'd be continuously giving back the EMP as
Right.
opposed to it getting locked inside Fusion. And that's the main goal of this, for more and more and more of the EMP in existence to get locked away inside Fusion, so that we're at a point where the Fusion stakers and users have the entire supply of EMP within the protocol, and we own all of Fusion, and the only way to get in is to buy a portion of one of our microgrids, and then we have all the power, and the long-term thinkers are in charge, you know what I mean? And we can finally have that vision that we've all had in our minds come to life.
Perfect. Yep, 100%.
All right. Will the remaining EMP liquidity, I don't see how we don't. Okay, that wasn't a question. Sorry. Yeah, I think that's it for questions. Does anyone have any other questions?
Yeah, I saw one other one that just was a confusion. It's obviously, maybe this person might be new. If you are new, welcome, Richard. But this is ETH on BSC, so we're not having to worry about any kind of, Ethereum gas fees or anything else. A typical transaction cost on Binance is pennies, so it doesn't eat into the profitability.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Awesome. Yeah. There was one more question on Discord, but we already answered it. It's one purchase of this battery per wallet. One more from Tiberius. If the fee is, for example, $10 plus Sac Points, how would this battery benefit me rather than just spending the fee directly to buy EMP and sacrificing it instead?
I mean, again, that's kind of a personal question. If you had the dry powder to just buy EMP and sacrifice it, then that's also a great option. But the whole idea with the battery is that this is a perpetual, continuous strategy to fuel peg recovery, not just from a one-time purchase, but from a continual purchase. So, that would be great to help peg, one time immediately, but the whole idea is that you actually invest. Again, I use that word lightly too. You know, you you prioritize a future gain by sacrificing a immediate profit. So you're investing in the future by setting up this passive income stream, utilizing the battery to then perpetually feed your microgrid ownership. So again, there's not a right or wrong answer with that, Tiberius. If you have the extra funds and just want to buy EMP outright, that's cool too. But this is about a long-term, machine, so to speak.
Yeah. And just a very short, easy answer is that if you have that $10 and you buy the EMP and you sacrifice it, that's an amazing option. But once that happens, that cycle is finished. But this continuous gain strategy gives you the ability to do this over and over and over and over again with just your initial investment, because the profit that you're earning can allow you to cover your fees and continuously I'm saying continue so goddamn many times.
Yeah.
Continuously continue to deposit EMP into Fusion to then use this battery again and continue the cycle.
Yeah, perfect. I love it. And again, I mean, this is all part of us, like I said a few minutes ago, about working as, a community to benefit not only ourselves, but also the protocol. So we're just trying to implement different options for people to, again, get the ultimate goal of getting more EMP purchased off the market and sacrificed into Fusion. And this is like, BBE and this battery are the two most like no-brainer ways to do that. So that was part of the whole process.
Yes, and as Fusion is a BSC protocol, this entire cycle is carried out on BSC. I saw some confusion in the chats. So,
Yep.
yes.
Exactly. Yep.
You will continue to purchase EMP on PancakeSwap as you always do. There was one more thing I thought of that I wanted to say. What was it? Okay, you keep talking and then I'll think.
All right, yeah, no, I mean, I think we did a great job covering the fundamentals. Again, remember that this is not a profit overnight addition. It is a way to set up a perpetual peg and microgrid machine from here on out. So, and again, the more of us that utilize this battery the ideal way, this will essentially guarantee that there is peg recovery over the long run. And again, we use that word very sparingly, but just based on the math, buying and sacrificing of EMP is the number one metric of our success. And again, there's so many benefits we talked about for an hour, but the whole idea is that not only you're essentially earning twice, because not only are you building your microgrid ownership this way, but as we start recovering peg, your microgrid value is also increasing along the way. So, you're earning from price appreciation, you're earning from more ownership within Fusion by building your microgrid, and you're earning from, the triggering of the battery to do the process all over again. So
Yes, and I got it. I remembered my thing.
cool. All right.
A reminder that if you do want to, find a way to somehow counteract the price of those fees and you're trying to do things in a smart way, if you are going the route of getting a power pack, just a reminder that if you are getting a power pack, they come along with a 5, 10, or 15% bonus, which means that you're getting more M energy than if you were to trade one for one individually. And that in itself is giving you that 5% bonus that's going to cover quite a lot of your fees in that first, second, third transaction. So that may be a great strategy because, it'll cover enough to purchase the battery and cover the first few transactions. And then the way that I would frame it in my mind is, okay, one and done. Now all of my stuff is handled, and everything moving forward is just profit, and that's all I have to worry about. And you know, you're gonna you can figure out the amount of time that you're gonna ROI in based on how much you're cashing out. But it obviously is built in a way that it won't take too long, and then you're gravy, baby.
I love it. Let's fucking go, LA. Perfect. Again, we put a lot of effort into the development of this battery. I mean, ever since Fusion launched, we've been brainstorming on this. Shout out to, Jake and Alex and the whole dev team. Grover as well helped us brainstorm some things. So shout out to all of you. And this was what we settled on. And yeah, I mean, again, we feel like it's way more bullish than just continually buying EMP with that ETH off the market individually from the treasury, because now we're also incentivizing you to buy eShare to utilize this battery. So we're getting, basically two benefits rather than one for putting this battery out. And, and ultimately, too, it gives all of you a bonus. I mean, those that are going to utilize this battery the right way are going to gain more microgrid value. And again, at the end of the day, everything that we do is to help benefit all of you, and then ultimately make the protocol more successful. So, all right, I'm super bullish on this. I think we did a great job rolling
Thank
it out.
you.
I know it was a little bit longer, but it was really important that we did these graphics. And shout out to you, LA, and Mike for putting together the peg profit continuous gain strategy, as well as updating all the docs for sure.
Yeah, the graphic is all Mike. I'll give him the credit for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a lot of amazing help behind the scenes, guys. So I know it's just AJ and I that you're used to seeing on the front end, but we have so many amazing people helping us behind the scenes. So it's really such an incredible team, and we're so lucky and thankful to have built the team and the community that we have.
Yeah, 100%. Well, and I did leave out the beta testers. I mean, shout out to them. They tested
Yes.
this about a week ago. And again, I said on a previous AMA, it was really, if you're going to get mad at anybody, get mad at LA and I for delayment because we were just trying to get all the docs ready. But yeah, the beta testers killed it a week ago, testing all of this for us and everything that we do. So shout out to
It
them.
was, and the crazy thing is, it's crypto, and it was like so many weeks ago, and you don't even realize.
Yeah, totally, totally. Yeah.
No, but they've been killing it over the last like month. Honestly, they've been helping us so much from concept to execution. They've been helping us a bunch. So shout out to all of them. They did a whole hell of a lot of testing over the last few weeks. And they were a big piece as to why this is going to be safe and ready to be released. And that was a big priority of ours, because this had to be done in the exact perfect way. We had to be perfectionists when it came to testing and planning this.
For sure.
And they were a big part of making sure that everything was brought to attention from the user perspective, and that everything functioned properly, and that any questions that were going to come up came up and we could discuss them. So they were really helpful. So big shout out to all of our beta testers.
Awesome. Yep, 100%. So again, this battery should be live within the next hour or so. If it is delayed for whatever reason, we'll have a full written post about this. Again, Jake is busy getting everything ready right now as we are on the AMA. But yeah, so just keep an eye out for the pinned post that basically explains everything that we just explained in the last hour in one post, and that would be when the battery is actually available on the main site. So yeah, all right. Do we want to go a little bit into Honor vs Madness real quick too, right, LA? Or was there any other
Yes,
questions?
we do. Yeah, I think that's it for Fusion. dive into Honor versus Madness.
All right, awesome. So again, we've been burning a candle at both ends. I know we said we're going to be giving a lot more updates on Honor vs Madness, and we will obviously. But to Ellie's point, in crypto, a week feels like an eternity. But that does not mean that we're not making headway. We had a really killer developer meeting uh, last week. Again, when I say developer meeting, I mean the actual game developers. So we'll have some really bullish things we can share, hopefully in the next 24 hours or so. So make sure that you're in the Universe Madness Telegram. I know I showed LA a little teaser of one of the animations a few days ago. It's pretty awesome, right, LA?
It's absolutely killer. And what blew my mind was after our AMA last time, when we were discussing it in our group chat for the team, and it was discussed that this was only like a testing version. And to me, it was just like blowing my entire universe, not only my mind. And this was just, oh, just a test version. It's not ready for the public. It's just a test version. No
Yeah.
big deal. Like,
Yeah,
I was
totally.
just like, holy cow, this is the test version.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, again, the guys over at YGG are perfectionists. So yeah, we were just showed a low poly, rendering. And LA thought it was gonna be the real one, but it'll be 10 times better than that. So and again, obviously everything that we do share is subject to change. But as long as you understand that, we can probably start sharing a little bit more of the visuals. So keep an eye out for that again within the next day or two. Things are also full steam ahead with the marketing and advertising for TJE. So we had a bullish meeting on Monday. We have another meeting tomorrow, and I think you have another meeting, LA. Was it tonight or
Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday night? Yeah. So yeah, we've been again full steam ahead on that front too, right, LA?
Yeah, we have been in tons of meetings. We're full steam ahead with organizing everything for marketing, advertising, PR, everything for TGE. It's been just full on the last few weeks to get everything all strategically organized in the best manner. And we are on it, folks. So everything's looking really good.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, even if we don't specifically say what we're doing, rest assured that it's getting done. I mean, that is our specialty is getting shit done. So we're still well ahead of schedule. Again, we have 2 full months, to promote. We'll have everything finalized, hopefully within the next few days, and be ready, to hit the ground running in September for released mid to late October, and have a plenty of hype around the token as we get closer to that for sure.
Yes.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
Well,
I
it
think
looks like that is it.
yeah, no doubt. I think we covered a lot today. Again, I appreciate everybody's patience. As usual, just remember that we will never quit. We again, just a little sentimental update here at the end for those that stuck around. I mean, every single day, LA and I and the rest of the team, and a lot of you guys as well, are really encouraging us to continue building. We're always thinking about different ways to support the protocol. What is the next bullish, addition, not only to our existing contracts, but also, in terms of additional revenue streams. I mean, we're not going anywhere. We're only getting better, and that is the ethos of everything that we do. And we're doing all of this, putting all the groundwork in place right before what we feel will be one of the biggest bull runs we've ever experienced. So those that are here for the long run and those that still support everything that we're doing. Again, obviously, we want to be at peg tomorrow and see a $500 e-share price. But those things take time. But we will get there for sure. So, LA, anything you want to add to that? Go ahead.
I don't know how I can top that, but
No.
I share so much in that sentiment. I think that what we're building here and what we have here is a diamond among what do you call it? A diamond in the rough, a diamond
Yes,
among a lot of coal. Um,
for sure.
Even though we support, everyone who's out there building, um, this does truly stand out. Um, Not only because it's from a team that you can trust and it's going to be here tomorrow, but because, like AJ said, we will never stop building. We will never stop working towards growth and those goals and that vision that we have. And it is not ever going to be something that just happens overnight. That's not the kind of protocols that we build, because we want to have this family that we've built together in a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Hell, like so many of our emperors have entered Fusion as their retirement. And that's important to us. I think about that every single day. And, that is what we're fighting for. That is what we push harder for on the long days. We want to make that a reality. And so it's all worth it to us, thinking about, the smiles on people's faces. I've even had conversations with people that want to pass their position down to their grandchildren. And I freaking love that. So this is why we will never stop pushing, we'll never stop fighting, we'll never stop building and growing. And we love what we do. So it's easy to be motivated to do it, even on the really long, really stressful days. So you guys are an amazing inspiration. And this is just another step in a positive direction.
Yes, hell yes, LA. Again, I could not have said it better. And, it's 100% the truth. And, those that have been with us for the last almost 3 years now understand that. And, I mean, again, even just a few days ago, another protocol that was the talk of the town had an exploit. And we have been here 3 years and never ever had an exploit. Again, I can't preach how important that is. That yes, are maybe the gains aren't quite what you would hope them to be. Even though in my opinion we're extremely competitive in the overall market, but the fact that you can wake up the next day and your funds are now gone. And that we have an impeccable track record, and that we have, full transparency and communication with all of you on a daily basis. I mean, those things money can't buy, and we're so fortunate to be in that position of building, one of the best, if not the best, DeFi protocol out there. So much love to all of you. Thank you again for the continued support along the journey. And, come, October, November, early next year, I think we will see the fruits of our labor really start to come to life. So, yeah, awesome.
AJ, I just realized something and I meant to plan around this, and it totally spaced today, even though I mentioned it to you last week. But I believe that today is the 1 year anniversary of Sparkswap. It might not have it exactly, but I think it's today.
Yeah, I think you might be right, LA. I know we talked about that. We just been so busy with everything going on, the baby coming, and yeah, all the devs on other tasks. But yeah, I think you're right. So again, shout out to all of you that got involved in Sparkswap. We saw a little bit of life coming into Pulse, and another just quick update really at the end here, and we'll have a full franchise update on Thursday. Today was just mainly focused on the battery, but we have updated the UI for the bridge on SparkSwap, so you will not be able to do the bridge if there is not enough liquidity. So this is massive because those that were trying to bridge and getting hit with the fees for over and over again when the transactions ended up failing, even though you got your money back, the fees could hurt a little bit. So that will no longer be an issue. The bridge UI is updated to give you that warning. So again, to my point, we never stop building, we never abandon anything that we do, and we have a lot of big plans moving forward for sure.
Yeah, so a big congratulations to all of you who got into Sparkswap. I just can't even believe it's already been a year, but what an incredible year. Wow.
Totally.
Everyone who got into Sparkswap, I would beg to say, is very, very happy that they did. I certainly know that I am. And I've heard from a lot of you throughout that year that you're happy that you have as well. So big congratulations to all of you. It's a really momentous moment and one that we should all celebrate. And we should always take time to kind of recognize those anniversaries and stuff because they're important. Because most DeFi protocols do not make it a year. Let's be honest.
Yeah, 100%, Elliot. You took the words out of my mouth. I mean, for the sheer fact that we're still operational is a milestone. It's sad that that's the metric. But yeah, I agree. I mean, I know a lot of people that have done very well with Spark, and maybe you got involved a little bit later. Obviously, we've seen Pulse go down, only go down over that year, for the most part. I mean, well, it went up pretty substantially right after we launched. But then after that, it only went down. So now we're right back where we started in terms of pulse price. But again, those are the build positions over the long run when we do see the incoming bull run and the eventual pumps and increase in volume. Those are the people that are going to win the hardest. So don't get discouraged and just continue to DCA where you can and come along for the journey with us as we continue to move forward. So, all right, I think that covers most of it. So, LA, any final word?
Thank you, AJ, for being a rock star. We're excited to see all of you again on Thursday, and we'll be posting all of the launch details for the battery after this AMA. It may not be immediately after, but it will most likely be tonight. So as soon as we get off, we're going to check in with Jake, see where he's at, and get prepared to push the UI live.
Perfect. All right. And yes, thank you, LA. Again, I could not do without you, my left hand lady and fellow team member that makes all this possible and really, helps me keep organized with everything I have going on. And again, much love to all of you for continuing to support what we're doing and making it, an amazing environment to build in. So, all right. On that note, good night, good day. Oh, we will see you on Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. We come to you every Monday and Thursday, so get ready for the next AMA, and please share this AMA with anybody that asks questions about the new battery. This is a full overview and can really help people understand. So, all right, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you on Thursday. Bye bye, everyone.